So today we're going to make a washcloth Easter bunny, or bunny, little bunny. So what you do is you can get these washcloths at the Dollar Tree, 2 for $1, and you start with the wrong side up and you roll it till it's about halfway. Then you turn it around and you roll it in from the other side till you meet in the middle. And then you want to make sure that they're even. So that's about even. And then what you do is you fold it up and then you turn it over and you fold it up again. You take a rubber band, you go in about 1 inch, and you wrap it around a couple times till it's tight. And then you have your bunny. Now what you can do to hide the rubber band is you can take some ribbon, put a little dab of glue there, hold it for a minute, wrap it around, and glue it down. And then you can take your little loop finger bow that we made. If you want to check out how to do that, you can check out single loop finger bow on the channel, and you can glue that on top. And if you really want to be fancy, you can take a little pom-pom for his nose, put a little dab of glue, and glue it on. So there you go, little bunny rabbits made from Dollar Tree washcloths. Okay, so we're going to make an Easter sign today, and I have this sign left over from Halloween that I got at the dollar store. So we're going to take some white chalk paint. I'm going to just pour it in here. It's kind of getting, I don't know, it's getting, the edges are getting yucky. So let's get the yucky stuff off, and we're going to give this, probably going to end up giving it 2 coats of chalk paint. So to continue with our first Easter craft, now we have these bunnies. Comes in a 6-pack from the Dollar Tree for $1.25, $1.20, $1.25. So I ended up going to Hobby Lobby to see what they had, and they had all these chalk paints that were originally, this one was $5.99, some of them were $8.99, and they were reduced to $1.49. So we're gonna take all these different colors and we're gonna paint our bunnies. On to our second color. I tried to pick all spring colors, and when you're doing this you want to make sure that you get the edges too, because even though they'll be on a sign, you might be able to see them. And we're just going to continue along with our colors until we get them all painted. I don't like the stark whiteness of this sign, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some wax with some water in it. Wow, that's really dark. I'm going to wipe it on just to give it some dimension. Okay, so we got It's a little darker than I thought it was going to be, but that's okay. It looks rustic, and that's what we're going for. We're going for a rustic, country-ish look, weathered. So we're done with that. Now, we still have our rabbits, and I changed the colors of the rabbits a little bit. Wasn't happy with the red color, so I made him blue. He's a little different because he's not chalk paint, but oh well. And I changed the letters. So what I did was use a technique that I saw from one of the channels that printed on tissue paper, and then you use just a glue stick from the dollar store to down. So I don't know, yellow or green?
I vote green.
Green. So we're going to take this and we're going to try to get it close to the edge. We're going to take our glue stick. Give it a good coat. We're going to take our E. So I like that a lot better than the other. So we're just going to continue along and cut the letters. So for people who don't have Cricuts, this is a good technique to use. What you do is you take a piece of just regular tissue paper and you tape it to a piece of cardstock. And you tape it all around the edges. So use painter's tape. And then you just run it through a regular inkjet printer. You do it so the tissue paper comes out with the letters printed on it, whether that's on your printer, whether that's up or down. And then you can pretty much do anything you want to do instead of using the Cricut. And there's a million different graphic pictures out there and letters and everything. I have a Cricut. We were trying to use it the other day and it wasn't working out that well. But again, we're new to this, so we're learning as we go. Okay, so the letters are done. I've made little bows. I'll show you how I make them. So you just take a piece of twine, and I'm just going to take the glue gun and just put a little tiny dab. That way it won't unravel when you're trying to do this. And you just unravel a little bit. You just want to make 2 loops, like bunny ears, like that. And you just crisscross them over, come through, and pull it tight. And they're kind of small because they're going to be like little bows or little ribbons for the rabbit. So you kind of want to make them uniform. And then you just cut them and you get a little bow. And then we're just going to take a little bit of the glue and we're going to make a little bow. We'll give this guy a little bow tie. Give this girl a bow in her hair. I did forget something. To make them more defined, I'm going to give them a little bit of an outline. Probably should have done that before I put the bows on, but I'm rushing. I'm gonna just go along the outside with, and these are, I think these are from Home Depot or Lowe's, and they're just furniture markers, like if you get a nick in your furniture. But the Dollar Tree has them too in a pack of 3 for $1.25. So we're just going to go along the outside, just give them a little bit of definition. I did it on the one earlier and I liked the way it came out, and I meant to do it before I put the ribbons on, but you know, things happen. Just go with it. Have fun. And here's the last one. It's the one I changed from that red color. I thought the red was just, I don't know, just a little not Eastery. We'll see. This is actually kind of relaxing. Just going around the edges of it, making it look nice. And there you go. Now let's finish putting the bows and the bow ties and the ribbons in their hair. So we can finish. There's a nice little bow in the hair, and there's a nice little bow tie for this guy. Now I do have some bunny tails. So let's put the bunny tails on. And there you have it. The rabbits are done. So now we have to glue them down. Glue them in their spots. We're just going to eyeball it. And the last one. I think that looks pretty good. Now we got to make a, I don't know. What do you think? We'll just hold it there until this hot glue dries. Oh, I got everything stuck into it. Okay, it gives it a little bit of a rustic kind of look. Now we got to do one more thing with the twine. I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the end just to, because we're going to put some beads on there to make a hanger. And the glue will help it go through the beads. And I got these at the dollar store for $1.25. The struggle is real, people. The struggle is real. We're just going to thread them on here. And it kind of matches our sign. There's pink and yellow and pale yellow or beige. Green. That's about even. I'm just going to tie it in a knot. And there you go. And this craft is complete. Okay, so we painted this rabbit, and I found these at the dollar store, and they're for a water bottle actually, but I figured it would be cute if we just flowered up this rabbit. So this one's going to be pretty easy. We're just going to take these, we're just going to stick them on. We're going to make them look pretty and springy. Whoops. Yeah, that's sticky. It should stick. It's not sticking. Alright, we'll just put a little hot glue. It'll stick now. There we go. That's not going to come off. So we're just going to keep... These are actually for a water bottle, to decorate your water bottle. I thought it would be cute to just put him on the rabbit. Yeah, I think he's pretty cute. Be nice for a background piece. Still have this flower. I don't think there's anywhere we can put it. But that's okay. We could save it for another craft. I really like this. I think that came out really cute. This craft was inspired by a Kirkland piece. For this one, this was Valentine's sign from last year. I'm going to cut the string off, and we're going to take this buffalo plaid. It's actually cricket paper. And what we're going to do, it's probably easier if I do it this way. We'll lay it down. You know what we're going to do? We're just going to put it on there, and then we're going to just cut it off. I think that's the easiest way to do it. So we got to find the edge. Let's find an edge. There we go. Hopefully it doesn't stick to my paper that I have protecting my table.
You're not even close to high enough.
And then let's just work the air bubbles out. I don't know where my Cricut tool is. I know it's around here somewhere. So I'll put the inspiration piece that I'm working from. It's a Kirkland's inspiration. I think it was like $80 too. So then we'll just cut the edges. So I went and got my X-Acto knife. Okay, so we have our Cricut paper on our sign. It's all cut. What we're gonna do is take this piece. We're gonna try and center it. Actually, okay, here's the words. So we want to say, and these are on tissue paper again. The tissue paper method, you just take a piece of gift tissue paper and you print it, you tape it to cardstock, you put it in your printer, whatever way your printer works, and you print it out. And it's better than having a Cricut, I think, because you can print in any kind of font you want, you can print any kind of images you want. So this, like I said, was inspired by a Kirkland's craft. and it says everybody welcome. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our glue stick. I'm going to give it a good coat of glue. Let's get the glue stick up. I'm going to take our running bunny. Actually, I'm going to have to put a little bit more glue on because he's longer than I thought he was. And we're going to gently lay him down so he's centered. He tore a little bit there. That's all right. We'll just get a black pen and fill him in there. And there's that. So now we just want to put him off to the side. Actually, I guess we want him there so we can see where everything goes. So we'll just put some glue on there. And I'm hoping that the glue will stick to the vinyl with the tissue paper. But we're going to find out. I think it should. Oh yeah, it sticks. Gently just press that into there. Let's see now. Let's take this off. Make sure it's straight. It looks pretty straight to me. Rub our finger on it just to get the wrinkles out. Then put him back on here so we can just measure up. You might have to come down just a little bit. Let's put them right there. And then we're going to go with the B at the top of that line. So we'll put some glue. We're going to take the B. B. We want to make it, we want to make sure that it's, oh, there's a lot of wrinkles in this one. I'll have to rub them out. Whoops. Take the top off, Kim. Now I think I'm gonna take my hot glue gun and glue him on so we can put the word welcome on there. And just give it a good coat of glue. Lay him down. And then the last thing to do is put, well, the last thing to do for the decoration is put welcome. Give it a good coat again. And center it up. Press the wrinkles out. Oh, need a little bit there. I think the B needs a little bit too. Now the only other thing we have to do is put a hanger on it, so I'm going to take my X-Acto knife and just cut a hole right here. Get some twine. Put some glue on there. Put that down to make it easier. Make a nice little knot. Tie it tight. Cut it off in the back. There you have it. It's our Inspiration Kirkwood sign. Oh, you know what? One thing. Let's see. I forgot that the tissue paper ripped a little bit here, so we're just gonna fill it in with a little bit of black. Hopefully nobody can tell. And there's craft number 3. Okay, so this one kind of starts off kind of half done because my husband had to take this out. This is just a tin can, and he took it and put it in a vise and flattened it on the one end. We're just going to make a little like a little holder. So got my Mod Podge here. I'm going to pour some in my little. I'm going to give a good coat. Put it on thick because we want to get it down in the grooves of the can. I got a little, another thing I printed out on tissue paper. Kind of little Easter thing. Little robin's eggs. So we're going to put that in there.
It really shows how nice the printing idea.
I'm going to take this. Get it down in there. Kind of French country looking. Get the wrinkles out. I'm going to just give it a light coat of Mod Podge on top, trying to get the wrinkles out. And it definitely defines the can. We'll let that dry. Okay, this is still a little wet, still a little damp, but we're just going to go on. I have my floral foam here. Different knife. Just going to take a piece and trim it to go in there. Take a little bit off. Gets in there. We're going to take some florals. Oh, crap, forgot. We're going to make a hanger. So we're going to take a piece of our nautical rope, then we're just going to take it and glue it on the inside of the can and make a little hanger. Glue it. Be careful because that heat transfers right through the can. Just want to make sure that, ouch, ouch. And that's why you got to be careful using hot glue. There you go. I think we're going to cut it. Should we cut it a little shorter, or is that good? Okay, so we're just going to stick it all the way in the bottom. Make sure it goes all the way down. And take my paintbrush here and just use it to press it in the glue. Give that a second to dry. Actually, I think we need a little bit at the top so it stays straight. Don't put your finger in it, Kim. Now we're going to take our floral foam, stick it down in there. Shoot. So there you go. Kind of makes a nice little patch. I'm going to take some florals. I'm going to stick them. I don't know why this one's not going in. There we go. Got it down in there. I'm going to take some boxwood. Just fill it in a little bit. Some boxwood up towards the front. Oh, with the reindeer moss, I can't see. I'm going to take some more florals. I'm going to cut that a little bit. We'll cut that one a little bit. Stick it in there. And maybe one little piece up front. Make a little hole. There we go. I'll fluff it out a little bit. And you got your little tin can pocket with a little French country vintage picture. Here's our French country Easter tin can basket. Brian helped me with the tin can. He flattened it for me. And here is our Everybody Welcome Kirkwood inspired sign. This is the picture that I found on the internet that inspired the next craft. Okay, so you can see I got a lot of nautical rope here. What we're going to do is take this Dollar Tree tin and we are going to wrap it in rope. Now, you just started the back. Hold it there till it's stuck. Sorry, I will get better keeping in frame. I'm sorry. We're going to run a line of glue. And this is kind of going to be kind of just like the beehive thing. We're just going to just wrap the whole thing in glue. I mean in rope. Nautical rope. Dollar Tree nautical rope. So we have our tub, our tin all wrapped in the nautical rope. It takes about 3.5 to get it all the way to the lip. So now what we're going to do, put that off to the side. We're going to take our floral foam. So let's measure first. So we're going to put this in the center. So we need about that much. We're going to put that in there. And same for the other side. And if we need to, we can fill in. Let's put this away because it's messy. I'm not crazy about floral foam. So we're going to take all of our florals now. And this is lilac from the Dollar Tree. And push the leaves up so it looks good. I'm just going to start filling in. one more piece of lilac. How about right here? So there you go. We have our candle. Just to let everyone know, because this is fake flowers, this is a battery operated candle, so it's battery operated. You can probably get, I had this one just laying around. It's from Amazon. You can get the battery operated one from the dollar store that's more like a pillar candle. But I don't know if you can see it. It makes a nice centerpiece for Easter. Today we're going to make an Easter basket made out of the dollar store tin that you can put, you know, kids or grandkids candy in. What we're going to do is wrap it in nautical rope, and instead of wasting your time and showing you how to do it, it's in my last video. I think it takes 3.5 nautical, the skinny nautical ropes from the Dollar Tree, and you just wrap it around and it comes out like looking like this. And we're just going to use that as the base. We're going to take some cardboard and we're going to make some bunny ears. Where's my scissors? There. So we're just going to Amazon box. I don't want to cut it too short. We can always make it longer if we have to. And we're going to just make bunny ears. That's pretty good. So you see what it looks like, a bunny rabbit's ear. And we're just going to use it as a template and make another one. There you go. Get this out of the way. And you got your pair of bunny rabbit ears. Now we're going to take the tin just to measure up and see how big they are, because we don't want them too big and we don't want them too small. So that looks pretty good. That one's got a little bit of a point at the top. Let's just round that off a little bit. That's pretty good. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take some of the pink felt. It comes like in a 10-pack from the dollar store. It's pretty good. We're just going to, you know, we're going to take a piece and we're going to put it like in the center. So we just want it just enough so it covers the center of the ear. And this one is going to be covered a little bit, so you don't have to worry about being too precise. That's pretty good. Let's just take that as a template and cut another piece. I like crafts where you don't have to be too precise, because I'm not that way. It's funny too, because I work at a job where you have to be precise in your measurements, but not this time. So we have we're going to take our white nautical rope. We're going to do our little trick, tip, whatever you want to call it. Just make sure. This time I was smart and I got my silicone fingertips out. We're just going to, whoops, going the wrong way. Just so it holds. What we're going to do, well, you know what? Let's glue these down first. Let's just take a little bit of glue. And glue our pink down. little bit more glue in there, just so it doesn't fray on us. Give it a nice tight hold. What we're going to do with this, I'm going to start at the bottom. We're just going to wrap it around, probably twice, to make some white ears. So let's glue this down. Get it to stay in there. Stay in there. Use your silicone fingers, Kim. Stop burning yourself with the hot glue. That's pretty good. Wrap it up and around. I'm going to kind of cover the edge of the cardboard. And the cut edge of the felt. Then we're going to go around one more time. Get it in there, stuck down in there. This little thing is getting in my way. And then we want to cut it off. Hopefully I don't have as much problems cutting this rope as I did the last time. This rope is tough. Tough. Do it one strand at a time. There we go. And we're just going to tuck it down in there. We're going to put some hot glue on it first, but it works that way. I'm just going to put a little glue down in there. Hold it. There you go. That's our first rabbit ear. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. I think this should be enough to do it. We're going to see. Again, we're just taking our glue, twisting it, just so it holds. Give it a good hold for a minute. Even with the silicone fingertips, these are just dollar store silicone fingertips, you can feel the heat through there. So give it a good twist. And we're going to start again. So we're going to just take our ear, run a layer of glue up the side and around, and then we're going to lay our rope in it. Press it down in the glue. Add another layer of glue. Press it down in there and come around. And then up the other side. It looks like we're having just enough. That's good. This was just a leftover piece I had, so I'm not sure how long it was. Sorry. But one rope from the dollar store will do it for you. And then it's going to be a little too long, so we're going to have to cut it. Not my favorite part of this job. I don't know why they're so tough to cut. I never used to have a problem cutting them. I'll just cut it one strand at a time. That should do it. Now we're going to make sure it's all tucked in there and glue it down. And there you have it. There's our 2 bunny ears. Now what we're going to do with these, I'm going to take a little glue and stick it in between here. Doesn't seem like it's holding down. Same with this one right over here. We're going to take our bucket. I think I can take these off for a minute. And we're going to put our bunny ears in like this, in the front. So it'll look, you don't want to put them in the back because it'll show. You can put them however you want, if you want them a little bit off to the side. I like them straight up, so that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to take some hot glue and I'm just going to give it a good coating here all over the bottom half of the bunny ear. I'm going to find where I want to place it, and I'm going to just press it down and hold it until it sticks. It doesn't take it long to stick. There you go. And then we're going to take our second one. We're going to try to measure it up, make sure it's even. That looks pretty even to me. And we're going to do the exact same thing. We're just going to take a good coating of glue. We're going to take it, make sure that it, because this rope is actually pretty heavy duty, so it's kind of heavy. So we want to make sure we have a good coating of glue. Press it up against there. Make sure it's even. Just hold it for a minute. And there you have it. So now we want to give our bunny rabbit a face. And I have these pom-poms in a whole bunch of neutral colors, but I think I'm just going to go with the black. So we're just going to give them some eyes. That's a little too close together. Let's get the one down and then we'll see where the other one should go. That's pretty good. And right about there. That looks good. Although that pom-pom's a little smaller than that one. There we go. That's more the same size. Little hot glue. Get it down. And then his nose. I think we'll just go with one. We'll go down a little bit because we're going to give him some whiskers too. Now let's see if I can do this without burning myself, because this is Chanel yarn and it's kind of skinny. I think this might be just a little too long. Let's shorten his whiskers up a little bit. Less chance of Kim to burn herself. I'm just going to put a thin line of glue, very thin. Just enough to hold the yarn. And we got to go back with a little bit more, we will, but I think that'll do it. And you could cut the whiskers to whatever length you want. I think I need to cut them a little shorter. Give another little thin line. Just enough to hold the yarn on there. Straighten them out a little bit. And one more on that side. Oops. Okay. There's his whiskers on that side. Getting little pieces of Chanel everywhere. Maybe Chanel wasn't that great of an idea to use his whiskers, but I couldn't find my black felt. Black felt would have worked much better, but this works. It's a cute little basket for Easter. And we're just going to do the same thing on the other side. So, just a little thin line. Get it stuck in the glue there. Straighten them out a little bit. One in the middle. And the last one on the bottom. There you go. There's our rabbit. You know what? Now that I think about it, I think I am going to paint the back of the rabbit ears with some white chalk paint. Give it a more finished look. Today we're going to try to make something with this carrot wood design that I got from the Dollar Tree. It's a little broken right here, but we don't have to worry about that. So what I want to do is I want to cover this with sticks. So I'm going to have to find sticks that fit on here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure, draw 2 lines with my Sharpie, and then take my clippers. And the good thing about these is they have an angle on them, so we just have to find the right angle. You put it in here, line it up against the 2 metal parts, the guides to hold it, and we just, where we made our mark, we just clip it. And then you get a nice angled edge. We're going to do the same thing for the other side, but we're going to have to turn it. We're going to have to turn the, and we're going to clip this one. And then we have our first piece. It goes right there. And it covers the top of it perfectly. Just move that off to the side. And now we're going to find the second piece. I'm not going to make you sit here and watch me clip all of these. I just want to show you the idea one more time. So we leave this one here. We draw our edge marks and line it up with 2 metal guides. Put the mark in the middle. It gives you this line right here, and you just have to clip it. And for the other side, you just move the guide and do it again. I gotta find my mark. There it is. And line it up with the middle and clip. Then we have our second piece. And once this is all done, we'll hot glue them down. And, oops, you know what? I think I might have cut that one a little short. Nope. You know what I think I'm going to do before we glue them down? I think I'll give it a good coating of the brown wax. But instead of making you sit here and watch me cut all these sticks, as soon as I'm done cutting them all, we'll bring you back in. So we cut all our sticks, and I had to kind of tape them down, as you can see. And I kind of numbered them because I want them in that order. So when I take this apart, I have to kind of leave the tape on there. Also, I used the back side of the carrot instead of the front side because the way the cutouts are on there, it was kind of, I couldn't go straight across. It was making a curve, which would have curved the whole way down. So I'm using the back side, and this little part right here that's broken, it doesn't matter. We'll fix that at the end. So right now I'm going to take this off. I'm going to disassemble this whole thing, and hopefully the tape stays on and I keep them in order. Okay, so the sticks are all cut. What we're going to do is we're going to just, this is wax that I mixed with a little bit of water just to give it a little bit of a darker brown shade. I think I should have got a bigger brush. This will work. We're just going to use the baby wipe. Maybe the baby wipe will be a little better. It's better at getting on my fingers, that's for sure. Okay. I'm doing both sides of this, even though we decided that we would use the back of it because I want the back to look finished too. So this is actually the back side. But we're just gonna do both sides so they look finished. This will only take a minute to dry too because we're just putting on a very light coat. I think I got more of it on my hand than I did on the actual piece of wood, but luckily it comes off, so we're good. So it gives us this nice light brown color. Let's do the back. This is just so the pieces of the stick don't line up perfectly, so this just gives it a little bit so what you see through the sticks looks a little more nature-like instead of this plain white wood. Okay, we'll give that a minute to dry. Okay, so that took a lot longer to dry than I thought. So we're ready to glue the first stick down. I just want to measure it up, make sure that we're at the right spot. It should be right along the two angled edges, should be right along the edge of the wooden carrot. I think I'm going to put the glue on the carrot. I'm sorry, on the stick. Let's line it up again. Hold it down for a minute. And there's our first stick glued down. And I'm leaving the numbers on until I'm ready to glue it on. This one's a little skinny, so I think I'm going, so I don't burn myself. Gonna line it up and put it right on the carrot this time. Get it right in there. Hold it down. And there's number 2. Number 3. You gotta kind of make sure you get the angled edges in the right spot. So we're just going to continue along, putting a thin layer of glue, finding our edge, and holding it down. And I left the numbers on so I know exactly what order and what side, because it gets confusing, the sticks go. So this is number 5. You got to go all the way to 35. So we'll speed this up for you. Okay, so there you have it. All the sticks are glued down. Now what we have to do is do something with the top of it. And I have this boxwood that I got from Amazon. And we're gonna cut it. And my husband, being so sweet, he didn't like me using his dirty old clippers. So he bought me a new set on Amazon. And as you can see, they work really well. And I'm just gonna take this apart. I'm gonna cut it long for right now. We might have to cut it a little shorter, but I'd rather be long than short. And I have 2 pieces just in case. I don't know if we'll need all that or not. Ooh, that one went flying. Let me put my glue gun back over here. I did a good job not burning myself this time, so I don't want to start now. So what we're going to do is we're just going to see, this is going to have to go a lot shorter. And we're just cutting it off. Probably have to cut the middle one off too. Well, let's just see. So we're just going to glue this first piece down to see what it looks like. I'm just going to hold it down in there. So I started putting the greenery on, and I didn't like the way it looked. So I'm going to give the top some green paint just to darken it up some. Hopefully it covers the glue that I put on there already. Too much of the brown was showing through the greenery, and I would have had to use so much greenery, and I'm not sure if it would have even held down, because the boxwood, like I said, is pliable, but it's not that pliable. I can't bend it down to get it in the wood. So we're just going to give this a good coat of green paint, see how it dries up, and then we'll go back to putting the greenery on. Live and learn, right? That's what crafting's about. You do what you like, and if you don't like it, you change it. It's a good thing about crafting. It doesn't have to be, there's no certain way you have to do it. You just do it the way you like it. And I think I'm gonna like it a lot better with the green, which I have my husband to thank for that. He's the one who suggested it. And I think he is, I know he's gonna be shocked to hear this. I think he's right. So we'll bring you back in when this dries, and we'll get back to doing the greenery. Okay, so I painted it green, and I think it does look a lot better. So now we're gonna try to glue the greenery on again, and I think I'm gonna have to cut it really short. So let's cut the lengths off a little bit, and then, yeah, I'm gonna have to cut it almost down to where it meets the stem. Okay, that's a lot better. So let's start in the middle. Got my handy dandy little silicone finger, press it down in the glue. Get the tall piece pressed down in the glue and let the little pieces stick up a little bit. And then this is a really tall piece, so let's cut this little guy off and then cut it down to the top of the stem. And we'll put him right next to the first piece we put down in the middle, and we'll go out. Let's give it a good coat of glue in there. That's a really good coat of glue. And we're gonna press him down in there. And I think that looks a lot better. The husband's idea was good. We can pull the little pieces. As long as the main piece is stuck down in the glue, I think we can pull the little pieces up to give it some dimension. And let's just keep doing that until we have the green covered. So I'm gonna just finish this and then we'll come back. So this is what we ended up with, and I think it looks really good. The boxwood I got on Amazon, and it wasn't that expensive. It was like $8, and there's like 8 bunches of it. We only used 1 bunch to do the whole top of the carrot. We just cut it up into smaller pieces. Now, it doesn't look so great down here with the glue line, but we're gonna take care of that with a ribbon. So when I got this at Dollar Tree, it's just the green and brown burlap ribbon. And what we're gonna do is kind of just make a messy bow. The problem is it sticks because it's got the wire in it. So I'm just gonna take it, I'm gonna layer it, and then we're gonna pinch the middle. So it'll kind of look like that, and then we'll fan it out. But first let me get a piece of twine so we can tie it off, because we want it to look rustic. So we're going to tie the middle, give it a good wrap or two, and then tie it in the back. I think the brown and the green look good together because it's brown and green in the project. Just make sure it's in the middle. And that looks pretty even. So we're going to make it tight. We're going to tie it tight. Make a knot. So we have our bow tied down in a knot. Now we want to dovetail the ends of the ribbon. So let's see if we can do more than one at a time. So we're just going to fold it in half and cut up on an angle, and there you go. So we did 3 at that time, so we'll do the other 3. Oops, this one's a little long. So 1, 2, 3. Fold them in half. And there you go. And then we'll do the last 3. Make sure I get the other ones out of the way. Oops, that one's a little long. And these 3. And I did it backwards. Let's see if we can fix it. There you go. That one's a little short. Doesn't matter. It's rustic. This one we kind of missed. I guess it was shorter than the rest. It's good. We are rustic. It doesn't have to be perfect. That's what's good about rustic crafts. We're going to cut this off. And we're going to put it in the center. Spread them out a little bit. We want the green to show through. Kind of match our wood in our leaves. Put it in the center. Good. Just hold it down. And then we have these buttons. That might be a little big. I like the wood look, but that might be a little big. Which one? I think we'll go with this one. Make sure that's down. Give it a little bit more glue on there. Glue down our button. Oops. Guess what? Can't use that one. Let's use the wood one. There you have it. I think it looks pretty good. So the whole craft was pretty cheap. The sticks were free from the backyard. We only used 1 bundle of the boxwood, which was like $6 or $7, I think. Buttons I just have from clothes, and the carrot was from the Dollar Tree. So that's a pretty inexpensive craft, and it looks pretty good. Oh, we can put a hanger on it if you want. We'll just take some twine. Cut a piece. Flip it over. Put a lot of glue. Glue. Get my finger thing. That's about good. And there you have it. I don't want to pull on the rope because it's still drying, but you can hang it on your door or your wall or whatever. So today we're going to try to do some tiered tray designs. I'm going to make a couple. So the first one I have is this crate, and we're going to make a little carrot box. So let's start by getting some of our antique wax, and we're gonna just paint it on there lightly. Actually, we're gonna add a little water, kind of water it down. That's much better. So that's done. We're going to take our carrots. Now these carrots came on garland. So I'm not sure if this garland's going to work, but I think I have other carrots and these don't work that we can work with. So we're going to cut them off the garland first of all. See, the other carrots, they just pop right out. I can't pull this out like I wanted to, so we'll just cut it off. And then I'm going to take our, I think I got this at Hobby Lobby. Sorry about that, I had to grab my clippers. We're gonna put different top on so it looks a little bit higher end. And hopefully we can get it right down in there. There you go. It's just styrofoam in there. So that's the good part. It just goes right in there. I think that looks a lot more high-end than this one. You can see the difference. So we're just going to do that for all 6 of them. Okay, so we have our carrots. Cut off the garland and have the different greenery on the top instead of that paper crepe greenery. I think they look better. I'm going to take this pen from the Dollar Tree. Just gonna give it the crate some definition by going along the edges. Gives it a little bit more, I guess, aged looking, like it's been outside for a while and it's a little dirty. Now what we're gonna do is take our moss, which I have to go get. Okay, so we got our moss, and we're going to take our piece of floral foam now. We're going to cut it to size to fit into, it's pretty good actually. We'll probably have to cut, and you know how much I love cutting floral foam. What a mess. So we'll just cut this one. And then we can make little holes in here. Then we're going to take some of our floral moss. I was going to use the reindeer moss. I don't know. Reindeer or the floral. Let's go with the reindeer. So now we'll just put a line of glue where the holes aren't. Try to get our reindeer moss around it without being in the holes. Let's give our little carrots a little dab of glue on the end. Start sticking them down in there. Get the reindeer moss out of the way. It might be easier to do the reindeer moss after we get the carrots in there. Crafting is definitely a learning process. There you go. I think we got the floral moss pretty covered up. You can just trim off the excess around. Now the last thing we're going to do is make a sign that says carrots 5 cents. And then we're just going to glue it on the front. So let's glue the back. Get it in the middle. There you go. So that's one of the little projects we're going to use for the tiered tray. So for our next tiered tray, I have this little carrot. It comes apart. But we're just going to wrap it. We're going to wrap it in yarn. So we're going to start at the bottom. I don't know where my fingers are, my silicone fingers, so I'll probably end up burning myself with the glue gun, as usual. We're going to take it, make sure it's not coming apart, and we're going to just start winding. With the orange yarn. And sorry, I know I'm trying not to burn myself, so I kind of left you hanging there for a minute. So we're just going to keep going around with the glue and the yarn. Put a little dab of glue right there and get this end in there. And there's your carrot. Now, I have green for the top, so let's see how that works. It's a pretty green color that I got from the Dollar Tree. I never find the ends of them though on the Dollar Tree yarn. So we're just going to cut it. I don't think this is going to take very long. We're just going to, you know what, we're going to start at the top from this one and go down. Should have waited. There you go. That's a pretty cute little carrot just put on a tiered tray. I really like the green color. So we're going to take this little house. This one has the chalkboard on it. And this is a rabbit that I took off another Dollar Tree sign. And we have our 2 little cats. So we're just going to make a little house for the rabbit. And let's give before we start, let's give the house a little darker color. And again, we're just going to use some of the chalkboard paint. Chalkboard paint. We're going to use some of the wax. There we go. Now we're going to take these 2 little carrots, and I've had these carrots for years. I used to do a lot of wood crafts back when we lived in California, and I think I got them at AC Moore. That's how long ago it was. I miss AC Moore. You get a whole bunch of cool wood crafts for like 99 cents. I'm just going to give him a coat of, these 2 little carrots, a coat of orange and green. We're going to give the tops the green color. So while that's drying, we're going to take our rabbit and we're just going to place him in the middle. And we're just going to glue him down. Now let's see if I can do this without burning myself. So let's find the middle. I'm just going to glue him down in his little house. Let's give this another coat of orange. It's kind of very pale orange. Anita's All-Purpose Craft Paint in Tiger Orange. Tiger Orange. Let's see. Let's see if the second coat is a little better. While the orange is drying, I'm going to take some of the boxwood I had left over from my last project yesterday, and I'm just going to cut some leaves. See how that looks. Let me take them all the way apart. I think I will. Let's try taking them all the way apart. Just put some leaves on there. And then we're just going to glue them right along the edge of the roof. I want to make sure that they're even on both sides. Lift them up. That's about even. Let's make sure when we glue it, it's even. There you go. Pretty simple little craft for a tiered tray or just to sit on your table. And there you go. Okay, for our next craft, we have this, I don't know what you call it, this stuff, sparkly, shiny stuff. And what we're going to do is we're going to take it off and use the frame underneath. Now, I've never tried to take one of these apart before. I've seen other people do it. So let's try it. There we go. Well, that was a mess. But we have our frame. We have our rabbit frame. I think we can save the eyes. If not, it's no big deal. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take the Dollar Tree, what are they called? Microfiber dust mop pad. And we're going to lay him on there. And we're going to cover him with this. Now, I've used these before and they are messy too. So okay, I think this is just going to be a lot of trimming. And trying not to make them go bald in between. Okay, so that was about 10 minutes of trimming and there's still longer hairs than I'd like on here. But we're just going to put it back together with the eyes. So I'm going to try to do this. Oh, and the glue on this, on these eyes, I don't know what kind of glue Dollar Tree uses, but man, is it sticky. I couldn't get all the little shiny parts off, but I got enough off so you won't be able to see it. And it's going to be down in there in the white anyway, so we're just going to put little dabs of glue on the back of the eye. Pick it up carefully. I got the one on there, so we want to get the other one. And then I have this little pink pom-pom for his nose. And put some glue on there. And we're going to glue his nose on. Okay, to define his ears a little more, I cut 2 pieces of felt. I used those pink ears, the sparkly ears that came with it as a template, and I cut out 2 pieces from pink felt, and we're just going to glue them down. Okay, so we glued the first ear down, and now we're going to do the second one. Let's get them measured up. Put some glue on the back of them. Pick them up carefully so I don't burn myself. Gosh, I'm so paranoid about the hot glue now. And then I'm just going to fold up some of the mop fuzz and I'm going to grab a little dab of glue on the end of the ear and then just fold it up in there so it kind of looks like it's cohesive and that it's in there. And there's a little bit more trimming. And then for the last thing, I'm going to straighten out his eyes a little bit. Okay, so we're going to make him a little bow. So I'm going to show you. I have a video on it, but I'm going to show you again. This ribbon's a little stiff. So you take it, you take the end, you hold it between your thumb and your ring finger, you wrap it around your forefinger and your middle finger, and then you take the end and you go underneath the ribbon, pull it tight, come over the top, and you see this loop right here? You take the end of the ribbon and you go underneath, and then you pull it tight. You bring the end of it down and you pull and make a knot. And then you slide it off your fingers. And you gotta fluff it out a little bit. You can pull it a little tighter on there. And there it is. Fluff it out a little bit. And then it's a little long, so we want to cut it. You want to cut it even on both sides. And then we want to dovetail it. And we just want to glue it down and give them a little bow tie. Let's put a little glue on there. Find the center. And glue it down. And there you have it. A little fuzzy rabbit. So these are the eggs from the Dollar Tree. I'm waiting for my chickens to dry, so I thought I'd start something else. I don't like the sparkly on there, so I'm just taking the brush I just used and I'm trying to put a thin layer on, and I got a paper towel here, and I'm just gonna try to cover the sparkle, the glitter on there. And then I'm going to take the paper towel, well, try to take the paper towel, and take a lot of the white off so the color shows through. And there's still some sparkle, like you can see the sparkle right here, but it kind of mutes it. Maybe just a little bit more. And I think these come 12 to a bag, so I'm going to do all 12. I'm going to paint all 12 of them. And I did one earlier just to see how it would come out, and here's the blue one. It's still got a little bit of sparkle, but not as much as, say, the yellow one. So it mutes it some. So I'm going to just do all 12. Okay, so we got all the eggs painted, and they're still a little sparkly, but they're definitely muted. Here's a pack that I didn't use, and you can see the difference. It's just toned down a little bit. So got those done. What we're going to do now is we're going to give, I had to take apart, my dollar store didn't have any of the cones yesterday, so I had to take apart another project. So it's kind of, it's got a little bit of stuff on it, but it'll work because we're going to give it a coat of paint anyway. So we're going to give that, we're going to give this a coat of green, just tone down the white, just in case any of it shows through. And we're going to give this little miniature clay pot. They come 3 for $1.25 at the dollar store. You just got to be careful because half of them are broken. We're going to give that a coat of this green. So as soon as I'm done that, we'll come back. While we're waiting for our clay pot to dry and our other paint to dry, we're going to try something with one of these bunnies. 10 pieces to a pack. And this is just the dollar store cricket paper. So we're going to cover the bunny in the cricket paper. So we're going to measure them up and cut the excess off now to make it easier. So let's find the edge. We're just going to lay that sticky side up, and we're just going to put the bunny on there. Give it a good press. And we can trim them up. This is just a rough cut because we'll get the X-Acto knife and do it so we get all the edges. Okay, so we have the X-Acto knife, and I'm just going to go around the edges and trim it up. And then we'll do something to his front. Okay, so we have them all trimmed up, and we're going to put a bunny tail on them. I got this whole bag of tails. There's a nice little white one right there. Just put some, he's kind of in there for a while, so let's just fluff him up a little bit. And put a little dab of glue on there. And then we're going to take Towering Tumble Block. Thought I had some out. Doesn't matter. We're going to take one. And so he stands up for a tiered tray. We're just going to put this on the back of him so he can stand up. So we'll put a little line of glue on there. And put it on the back so it's covered up. And there you go. He stands up. We'll give him a little flower. A little sticker from the dollar store. Make him a little springy. And that one was way easy. Okay, so we're gonna run a line of glue. The paint's dry on this, so we're gonna run a line of glue along the lid of the pot, the edge of the pot, the lip of the pot. And we're gonna take this, stick it on there so it's even all the way around. That held pretty good. So now what we're going to do is start taking our eggs that we painted and putting them along the edge of the pot. So here's the first one. Just hold it there for a minute till it's secure. And that's what we're going to do. We're just going to go along the edge. And we're going to put the eggs on there. And we're going to build it up. I'm going to try to make it so they're all even. Try to do a different color so they're not all the same color. That one needs a little bit more. I think I put it too close. So we're just going to keep going around until we build it up. So there's our first row glued on. So we're just going to keep working up the cone till we get to the top. So we have all our eggs on. It took more eggs than I thought it would take, and it's a little top heavy. I would use a bigger pot next time. But anyway, we're just going to go with this. This is what we have, and I think it looks pretty good. If you see, it's an egg topiary. So what we're going to do is spaces in between the eggs right now. We're going to take some reindeer moss and we're just going to fill in with reindeer moss to hide those spaces. So it'll look like this. So we're just going to take a little bit of the hot glue, get it down in there. And we're going to take some of the reindeer moss. We're just going to put it in until it gets into the glue. And I have my paintbrush that I'm going to use to push it down in there. So we're going to just do that around where there's spaces where you can see the foam. Just to make it look pretty and springy. That's why I'm using the reindeer moss instead of the other kind of moss, because it's green and it's pretty and it's springy. And then where it's a little long, we'll just trim it up. So I'm going to do that around the whole egg topiary until we get all the spaces filled in. And there you go. We got all the reindeer moss in the cracks and filled in all the gaps. And here's our egg topiary. Still got a little bit of glue strings on it, got to get off. But there you go. we can put it on a tiered tray. It's a little large for a tiered tray. I think I would use the larger pot, like I said, for if I would do this again. But I think it came out pretty well. So if you like, well, so we have all our tiered tray designs. So we have our egg topiary, our fuzzy bunny rabbit, our rabbit in the house, our little buffalo check rabbit, and carrots in the crate, and our little yarn carrot. So we're going to put them all on a tiered tray. Projects. We're going to start making an Easter wreath door hanger. We're taking the Easter egg Dollar Tree form, wreath form, and some of the white nautical rope. Now I started at the top and I glued it down, and I'm just going to wrap it on one side about halfway down. I'm using my left hand right here to keep everything together and tight, kind of rolling it so that it stays really tight. I don't want any gaps in the rope. I want it to look very close together, and I'm just counting right here to see how many I have, because we're going to do the same thing on the other side. That's about halfway, so I'm just going to fix it up, and then I'm going to glue this together and then cut the end of the rope off. Oh, okay, so I took the end of the rope because I want to see how far down I have to go on the other one. I did count the number of loops, but just in case. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to continue. We're going to do this down the other side. And there I'm just holding the loops tight again. Every so often just pulling them tight and wrapping it down all the way to the middle. So there we have it. It's even on both sides. I'm taking a fresh piece and I'm going to start wrapping to the bottom. Now you could do this one of two ways. I did it where I wrapped it all the way around the whole wreath. If you wanted to save some time and I guess some money, although the Dollar Tree rope's only $1.25, you could cut the rope and then just glue it to the back. But as you can see, I am taking it and gluing it down, and I wrap it around. And I'm making sure that it's glued down on this one. So here we are, coming to the end. It's complete. And now I'm just taking the end of the rope, wrapping it around on itself, and gluing it together so it stays nice and secure. Now we have our florals, and they're just some florals from the Dollar Tree. We have some lamb's ears, some dahlias, and a couple, I think, mums. I'm not sure. And you just want to get them in the middle of the rope, or if you didn't wrap the rope all the way around, you could just glue them to the back. And you just want to just flower arrange. I like to try and fluff them out, so push the leaves up and fluff them out so they're at their fullest. But that's all you have to do. Just find some flowers you like and stick them in the middle of the basket and just get them arranged how you like. And there you have it. All flowers arranged in the basket. Okay, I think I lost some footage here, but I just took some Dollar Tree ribbon. It's the one that says like Happy Easter, some green burlap, and the pink checked. And I just cut equal lengths, 2 of each color, equal lengths, and I clipped the ends on them, and then I just kind of laid them on top of each other, tied them in the middle. And now I'm taking this loop of yellow, and I'm going to make a little bow, and then the loop of the lace, and put it on top of one another, put it in the middle of our ribbon, glue it down, and then wrap ribbon on top of it just to make it look clean and neat. And then we tie it real tight. We're gonna cut the ends off, and fluff it out. And we're going to put it right at the top of our basket. Glue it down. And I think it brings all the colors out. So the bottom of the basket, I'm going to take 3 of the Dollar Tree Easter eggs. I don't like them. They're shiny and they have glitter on them. So I'm going to give them a coat of the white chalk paint. And it really makes them nice pastel colors. And then we're going to just glue them down. See the difference? That was the yellow one. And I really like how it makes it pastel. So we're just going to take that yellow one, we're going to glue it to the middle of the basket. And then we're going to take the 2 pink ones and glue them down on each side of that. And there's the last one. And there you have it. We have our Easter flower basket made from Dollar Tree nautical rope and the Easter egg form, wreath form. I think it turned out pretty good. So today we're going to make a wreath out of the Dollar Tree rabbit ear wreath form and some yarn. This is the really fluffy yarn. I think I got it on sale at Michael's. It was like buy one, get one, 50% off. I was going to try to not take it off the skein, but then I was like, nope, that's going to be too hard. So I just cut a length and we're going to I glued it down to the back of the wreath form, and we're just going to make little glue just to hold it in place. But you don't have to use too much glue. You can just keep wrapping it. And you just want to wrap it around the wreath tight, glue it every so often, and you just want to go all the way around the wreath, the ears and everything. So when I got done, this was one wrap with the yarn, and I didn't like it. It wasn't fluffy enough. So I decided to go around another time. And then when I went around the second time, there was still a little bit of, I don't know, areas that weren't fluffy enough. So I just went around those areas again one more time with the yarn. Not the whole thing, just the areas where I thought it was just a little too, where it was a little too thin. So here it is, complete done. I went around twice all over the whole thing, and then once where I just thought it was just thin. And I still have all that yarn left over, so it doesn't really take that much. So we have some florals from the Dollar Tree. I just grabbed a whole bunch of pretty spring colors and flowers, and I'm just trying to decide which ones I want and what position I want them in. So I like the pink rose in the middle, and I didn't even cut them off. I just pulled the flowers off the stem, and I glued it right in the center between his ears. And then I have these, I think they're maybe, I'm not sure what they are, but they're the peachy ones, and I put them on either side of the pink rose. Again, I just pulled them off the end of the stem, and I tried to find the ones that were the most symmetrical to each other so it would look nice. Then I decided to go with the peach roses on either side of those and just glued them down to top, give them a little flower crown. And then I took some of the leaves and I just put them in there and glued them down just to give it a little bit of color, greenery. Here I am adding the leaves on the other side just to give it a little bit of balance. Glue them down, play around with it until you get it the way you like it, and then fluff out the flowers and we're just about done. Today we have this rabbit from the Dollar Tree, and as you can see, I tried to do a couple different crafts on that didn't quite work out. I wasn't happy with any of them, so I took it all off. And I have this yarn from the Dollar Tree. It's just yarn, the Plush yarn, and it's kind of like, it's very forgiving, let's put it that way. So I'm going to try to cover this rabbit in this just yarn brown color. And I started by starting at the tail there and just using the glue gun and the yarn, I'm going around the outline. And here I am getting close to the end. And what we're going to do is just keep going around the outline. And you would think it would make lines, but when you see it, it doesn't make lines because this yarn is like eyelashed. So you'll see it in a minute. Here's the rabbit all filled in. As you can see, it didn't leave any of the lines that you would think it would leave. And now I have this pink faux fur yarn from Michael's. We're going to use that for the ears and the tail. And then just glue it down. And I did a little trim because it was sticking up a little bit. And a little glue down. But there you go. Pink ears and pink tail. So now we got to give our rabbit a little bit of a decoration. So I have this wooden star that comes in a pack of like 15 or something from the Dollar Tree. And I'm giving it a little bit of a paint job with pink, pale pink. Kind of matches his tail and his ears. Then I'm taking some of this burlap ribbon and I'm going to cut it in half because it's a little wide. And we're going to wrap that around his neck. And then we just give it a little glue to hold it down. Trim off the end. One end was a little long. Then I have the lace ribbon from the Dollar Tree, and we're just going to put that right on top of the burlap. And now our star is dry, and we're going to put that right on in the middle. Then I wanted them to be able to stand up. I didn't want to put a hook or anything to put them on the wall. I wanted them to be freestanding. So I took a Dollar Tree picture frame, and I took the back off, and I glued it down on the back. And now he's able to stand up. So today we're going to make an Easter egg stand. I have these two wooden plaques from Joann's, and we have the bigger eggs from the Dollar Tree. I took the eggs outside and I gave them a coat of primer. I just put them in a box and sprayed them so they're going to be able to take color. Now I'm taking the glue gun and I'm just burning a hole in the top of them to fit my dowel rod. So I'm just checking to make sure that the dowel rod fits in there and it fits in my little wooden plaques from Joann's. I'm going to give them a coat of white chalk paint. Actually, I think I ended up giving them 3 coats of the white chalk paint. Well, I'm waiting for that first coat to dry. I'm taking the eggs and I'm gluing them together. It'll make it just easier in the long run to paint. But you know what? Not all of them went together real good. I think if I had to do it again, I would get better eggs from like Walmart or Target or something. These Dollar Tree eggs were very flimsy. So now we're going to give them a coat of paint. So I used 2 different paints. I used acrylic paint and I used the chalk paint. The purple was the acrylic, and I think actually the acrylic went on better than the chalk paint. So this one is the purple and it was acrylic. Now I'm giving the plaques, the stands, sanding, trying to get some of the rough edges off. Here I'm showing you that they didn't really glue together very well, and we end up fixing that up at the end. But yeah, I would get better eggs next time. So here I am assembling the eggs and making sure that the dowel rod fits in the stand. 4 eggs won't fit, so 3 is the limit. I got to cut the end of the dowel rod off. Now I'm going to take some brown paint, mix it in with some water with a toothbrush, and I'm going to give the eggs a little bit of a speckled look using the toothbrush and the brown paint. Make them look like robin's eggs. Now that our speckled eggs are ready, I'm going to take some of the lace ribbon from the Dollar Tree and I'm going to wrap it around the middle and hide the seam. And it'll also help keep them together because the glue wasn't holding it together very well. So I'm just going to take a little dab of glue and I'm going to wrap it around and give it another glue. And then I'm going to take some of these buttons. Now I got these buttons off of Amazon and they were a really good deal. They were like $7.99 for that whole bag of buttons. I picked out 6 that I liked. And there you have it. I have all the ribbon and the buttons on. And now I'm going to start assembling the egg stand. Oh, so I have it assembled, but then I have to cut the dowel rod. So I just made marks. And I just used my little clippers over there. And I cut the end off. I'm going to put the eggs back on, give it a little bit of glue to hold it in place. Just trying to figure out which colors go best together. Make sure that the buttons are straight, aligned. Push them all down. And then I do the same for the other one. I had 6 eggs, so I went to Michael's and got two wooden dowels, or wooden circles to make 2, since I had the 6 eggs. And there you have it. We have 2 of them assembled. Now we just got to take a little bit of the wood glue and some hot glue, put them on so we get the wood glue for permanent hold and the hot glue for quick hold. And then just let them set up. And we're done. And there you have it. There's our 2 egg stands. I hope you guys. Today we're going to make a bunny rabbit planner. This is one of the jars from the Dollar Tree, and I had taken outside and I gave it a coat of white primer, and now I'm taking some of the white chalk paint and I'm just giving it a coat. Actually, I ended up doing 2 coats of this, and I touched up in some other places, so you want to call it 3 coats. So we're going to put that aside. I got these at the Target dollar spot, and I'm cutting, it's a headband with the rabbit ears on it, and I am trying my best to cut these rabbit ears off. I don't know what kind of wire they used, but it was tough. I'm using all my strength right here with 2 hands, and I can't cut through it. I finally end up getting it, giving a little nudge there, and finally get it off and cut through the rest of the fabric with the scissors. Now that I have it off, I'm going to just trim it up a little bit, and then I'm going to take one of these wooden skewers, and I'm going to put some hot glue in the opening there, and I'm going to kind of just like pleat it together and glue it so it stays on the wooden skewer. I do the same to both sides. And there you go. We have our rabbit ears on the wooden skewers. Oh, I guess I needed a little bit more glue there. Now I'm taking some of this fur yarn, the pink, and I wanted to give the ears a little bit more of a glamour shot look. So I just ran the glue along the edge and put the yarn in the glue around the whole rabbit ear. And then I was like, should I put the fur in the middle too? And then I went back and forth, and I got some opinions, and I ended up leaving it just plain in the middle, or not plain. I left the stripes in the middle. Now that we have our ears all glued, see, I'm deciding whether to put the fur in there. And so I took some of my favorite stuff, the floral foam. Can't stand this stuff, but it works good. So, and I'm just going to cut it so it fits in our little glass jar there. Trim it down till it gets in there. Then I take it out, and I'm going to end up hot gluing it in there. I had to stop and clean up because I can't stand that stuff on my hands or the table. So I had to clean up. So now we have these pretty flowers, these pretty pink flowers from the Dollar Tree. And I'm just cutting them off, pushing the leaves up, and then cutting them off probably in about 3 or 4 inches. And then pushing them down into the floral foam. And just making a nice little arrangement of the flowers. Making sure that the green leaves show through because we want some contrast against the white and the pink. So I had 1 left over. I think I used 5. Now we're going to take our ears that are on the skewers, and we're going to push the skewers down into the floral foam. And then we have our bunny ears. I'm still trying to decide whether I want to put that faux fur on the middle or not. Then I have this little pink heart from the Dollar Tree. Came in a pack. And I glued it right in the center for the bunny nose. So today we're going to make a little Easter basket with some flowers in it. So this is a Easter basket from the Dollar Tree that has that tinsely stuff on it. So we're going to just take all the tinsely stuff out so we have this little wire cage kind of. And I'm just going to glue those together because it wasn't staying together very well just on its own. We're going to take some of the Dollar Tree nautical rope, and we're going to start at the bottom, and we're just going to start gluing that nautical rope, wrap it all around till we get to the very top, just using some hot glue to hold it down, hold it tight to one another. And when we get to the top, we're going to take some of the white nautical rope. Now I split this, it comes in like 3. It's like a 3 strand that's wrapped together. So I split the strand. I had some left over. I was trying to use it up. I wish I had actually cut a piece because it didn't go all the way around. And then you just wrap it around, use some hot glue to hold it down, and then tuck the, well, I'm just trimming it up. There are some loose ends. Now these eggs came with the basket, and again, I don't like how bright they are, so I like more pastel color. So I'm taking some of the white chalk paint, and I just put them on these little skewers to help paint. But as you can see, in a minute, you kind of pop off. So finally, I just decided to just hold them and paint them. And I'm just taking a paper towel and I'm blotting the white chalk paint off, just enough to give it a pastel look instead of the really bright glittery color that these eggs have. It takes some of the glitter sparkle away from them, which I like it. It makes it a lot more pastel. And then I'm just going to set these aside to dry. Okay, well they're drying. I put some floral foam into the basket, and we have some nice spring florals from the Dollar Tree and other stores. And we're just going to try to arrange them in a pretty manner. So I cut some of these off and put them in, and eventually I come up and we have these. So now we have all our florals in the basket and the eggs, and I'm taking some of the wide lace ribbon from the Dollar Tree, and I'm putting it along the edge at the top. And then we're going to take some of the narrow lace from the Dollar Tree, and we're going to wrap it around the edge at the bottom. We're going to hot glue that down, and we're almost done with this project. I hope you guys like this one. If you did, please give it a like, a share, and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. And there you have it. It's complete. Thank you very much. Bye.